What is up guys, it's Hyder once again, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cookie Run Kingdom. I wanted to update the PvP tier list, and the reason for that is because we are getting 3 new cookies in tomorrow's update, and because of that I will have to wait another week or a week and a half to review those cookies if I do want to include them in the tier list. And I think it's not fair for all the newer players who are waiting for the updated tier list, so I decided to record this video and share the updated tier list for mid-September 2021, right before we get this new update that includes Moon Rabbit Cookie, Sonic Cookie, and Tails Cookie. Anyways guys, let's not waste any time and get right into the video. Alright guys, so let me just go over real quick how this tier list is going to go. Again, SS tier is going to be like the best cookie that is being used in almost every single team in the arena right now. S tier is going to be for the cookies that are super good, but sadly couldn't reach that SS tier. And then A tier are going to be the cookies that are pretty strong in the arena right now, but still not going to be making that cut when it comes to the later game or later stages as well. And then B tier is going to be average, C tier is going to be below average, and the D tier is just, you just should not use the cookie at all in the arena right now. Anyways guys, let's get right into it. So Almond Cookie is going to be at a S tier. And the reason for this is because I think I put Almond Cookie at a lower tier than S in other tier lists that I made, but Almond Cookie, hear me out guys, is still super strong in the arena because our Gingerberry Tiger Lily Almond comp is never going to die guys. That comp is just constantly going to be used, and without a proper really counter to it, because you cannot always counter this comp, right? You're not going to always have a counter deck as your defense deck because there are so many other comps as well. So this Almond Tiger Lily Gingerberry comp is never going to die. That's why I am putting Almond Cookie at S tier, because how strong it is and how easy it is to build this team. Okay, next one is going to be Black Raisin. Black Raisin is actually going to be an S tier too. Black Raisin is coming back guys, and the reason why is because of Hollyberry, and with Black Raisin being able to attack many of the middle lane, which includes Sorbet and Sea Fairy in many cases, Black Raisin is actually making a comeback and allowing you to kind of destroy the middle lane where all the damage comes from, and then pop the feather as well before that 1 minute mark where the double damage comes in, and then you're able to do even more damage and have your feather up. So I want to say that Black Raisin is going to be at that S tier and being a great ambush cookie for a lot of you guys out there. Chili Pepper is going to be at a C tier. I would say below average, but you can however use Chili Pepper. The reason why is because a lot of new players still do use Chili Pepper because it is the first epic that we get in the game, and Chili Pepper still does pretty okay damage for an epic and being an ambush cookie. So I would say Chili Pepper is going to be at that C tier. You should use it because you might not have all the epic cookies or better epic cookies, and then later on replace it with any of the S tier, A tier, or SS tier when you get the chance. Next one is going to be Cream Puff. Cream Puff, never use Cream Puff guys. I have already suggested this with many players out there, but Cream Puff is a collection cookie guys, and it's only for the bond, and you do not ever want to use Cream Puff and never want to really upgrade Cream Puff at all, because it will be waste of your resources. Cream Puff does not do anything well. She is cute, however she does not do any damage or healing properly, so I would say Cream Puff should be staying at that D tier and should not be used when it comes to the arena. Next one is going to be Dark Choco. Dark Choco is actually going to be at an A tier, and the reason why is because that 20% defense debuff, yes it is helpful, but in the arena Dark Choco cannot survive and tank the damages that he needs to for the front line in order for the back lines to survive, and that is why Dark Choco is actually going to be at A tier. And as a solo tank, if you're trying to use Dark Choco as a solo tank, it's not going to work, and I highly suggest that you should stick with a better tank when it comes to Dark Choco. So I would suggest that you should not use Dark Choco if you do have him and the other tanks and the SS or S tier. So I would say Dark Choco should be staying at that A tier for majority of the arena. Next one is going to be Lilac. Lilac is also actually going to be in an A tier, but because of the speed comp, there's actually a lot of different versions of speed comp, and a lot of those versions actually use Lilac Cookie as a sub and slash main DPS. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, is Lilac is actually being used along with Minchoko and Madeline to do ton of damage along with Sea Fairy. So because Lilac is able to do AoE damage with Madeline, even with the feather on the other team, if you are able to actually pop the feather before that 1 minute mark or after that 1 minute mark, these two cookies are actually going to wipe the entire team with nothing really to stop them. So that's why I'm saying Lilac is super good, but I do say Lilac does need a really good enchanted robe, and then also a maxed out Madeline and a Minchoko to support his build. So I would say Lilac is going to be at A tier. I wouldn't highly recommend it if you guys are trying to just go for that speed comp, because Lilac can be very expensive and a little bit harder to build compared to the SS and S tier. Next one is going to be Expresso. Expresso is actually going to be at a B tier for me. The reason why is because Expresso actually fell off of the arena pretty hard, guys. The reason why is because there's so many other cookies out there that are able to do way more than what Expresso can. Expresso is a burst AoE damage dealer, but however, Expresso does lack a lot of utility, and that is what is killing Expresso. So people are just using Latte instead of Expresso because Latte does have that silence, preventing the skill from being used, and also having that immobilization, allowing your team to, you know, prevent the enemy team from moving from where they are. So that's why I'm saying Latte is just so much better as a mage cookie. Even though she may not do as much damage as Expresso, she still has a utility. That's why I'm putting Expresso at B tier. Pretty average and just a good AoE burst damage dealer for your team. Next one is going to be Fit Cookie. Fit Cookie is going to stay at that D tier as well. Just not very useful. Having that damage doesn't do any damage at all. Having that attack debuff too is not worth putting a Fit Cookie in your team or taking one of your spots in the team. When you could only have 5 cookie in your team, I would say Fit Cookie should stay at the D tier, and you guys should not use Fit Cookie unless it's for that bond. And then Herb Cookie is going to be at an S tier. The reason why Herb Cookie is going to be at an S tier is because Herb Cookie is still second best healer in the game right after Pure Vanilla. If Pure Vanilla was not in the game, then obviously Herb will be at that SS tier, but because Pure Vanilla just blows him out of the water, we're gonna have to put Herb Cookie at S tier. But however, if you guys still have questions about the healing comparison between Herb Cookie and the other supports, I will let you guys know right now that Herb still out heals all of the supports in the arena. It may be a little different in the PvE, however in arena, Herb Cookie is still going to do a lot more healing than the supports out there. So I would say Herb Cookie is going to be your #1 healer if you do not have Pure Vanilla, and will stay at that S tier. Next one is going to be Hollyberry. This is actually going to be a very interesting cookie, and I am actually going to be adding a different tier to this. And the reason why I am doing that is because Hollyberry actually can be an SS tier, S tier, and an A tier. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of this. Hollyberry is a great cookie, guys, and is dominating the meta. However, there is a catch. You need to have a proper topping setting in order for Hollyberry to become that SS tier. And even my Hollyberry, I would say, is more towards the S tier because I do not have much crit resist. I don't have much cooldown on my Hollyberry, just trying to focus raw damage resist, and it's still dies. I will tell you guys that right now. Sorbet still destroys her. However, because of the new addition of a lot of the technologies in the Sugar Gnome Laboratory, I'll have to say you really need to focus on the best toppings in Solid Almond with Hollyberry in order to use Hollyberry up in the Masters level. And I would say everybody there, they have the best toppings. And I'll say if you guys are still down in the crystals or diamonds, I would say Hollyberry is still maybe, you know, kind of at that A to S tier, still doing great but not doing the best that you can do. And I'll say it does take a lot, and it does take a lot of tries to get the best toppings, and you have to do a lot of farming. So I would say Hollyberry is going to be at that special case of A to SS tier on our own. And then now next one is going to be Purple Yam. So I normally put Purple Yam around like C or D tier, but however I'm gonna actually have to put Purple Yam at B tier. And the reason why is because we have actually found out that there are still comps that are viable with Purple Yam, but the thing is, it is so limited right? It's so such a niche kind of team. I cannot put Purple Yam higher in like A or SS tier, and I would just have to kind of put Purple Yam at a B tier. Yes, the team is actually really powerful, and if you can make it, then you can definitely climb the ranks in the arena. However, like I said, it is a very niche type of team, and it's going to require a specific team composition as well as topping sets in order to make that happen. So I'm gonna have to put Purple Yam at a very average frontliner, allowing you to kind of group the enemies together with his skill. However, I would still say Purple Yam is not the best tank when it comes to the arena. Next one is going to be Kumio. I'm going to be putting Kumio at C tier, and the reason why is because yes, she does have a charm, however the damage is not there, and she just doesn't work very well as a frontliner. And I would say if she was anything other than a frontliner, then she definitely could have been used as a different like support or mage. But because she is a frontliner and she does not do much except for that charm, I'm gonna have to say C tier. Don't really want to use her. If you don't have any other frontliner, then yes, you can use Kumio for a little bit and then switch out for that SS, S, or A tier. And the next one is going to be Latte. Latte is actually going to be at an S tier, and the reason why is because Latte actually can counter the Tiger Lily, Ginger Brave, and Almond comp, as well as do a ton of damage along with silence and immobilization. Latte is this one cookie that has so much utility packed into her skill as well as damage, and that's why I'm saying Latte is just like from my perspective and in my opinion one of the best mage cookie out there in the game so far, until maybe, you know, we may get like a legendary or an ancient, I don't know, or you know, a collab cookie that just kind of blows Latte out of the water. Until then, I'm gonna have to say Latte is going to be that best mage cookie in the game so far. And the next cookie is going to be Licorice. Licorice is actually going to be at an S tier too. Licorice is really strong still, guys, and probably one of the only cookie out there that can be used for every single mode in the game. PvE, arena, guild boss battle, tropical raid. Just Licorice just does everything, guys, and Licorice does it well. The minion helps you deal with the Tiger Lily, Ginger Brave, Almond comps. The defense buff is great, the damage is there, and having Licorice just in general, having another mage in there and having the minions tank for you is just awesome, guys. So I would say if you guys are still kind of lower in the ranks, Licorice is definitely a strong cookie, and I would highly recommend you use Licorice cookie with full Swift Chocolate so that you can cast that spell as quickly as possible and have the minions constantly up in order for you to tank the enemy hits. And because the minions cannot actually get pushed back, that is another reason why Licorice is so good against some of these comps where they kind of group you together and try to one-shot your team. Next one is going to be Madeline. Madeline is actually going to be at a kind of like an S and an A tier. The reason why is because Madeline is super strong right now within the speed comp, and because of the speed comp being at a very high tier, I'm actually going to be putting Madeline at S tier. And because there is no other tank, right, that can work with the speed comp if it's not Madeline. And because of Madeline's buff that came out a couple of patches ago, Madeline has become the speed comp king, and that's why I'm saying Madeline is going to be at that S tier. And with the like a topping set of Syrian Raspberry and having a bunch of attack speed as well as that damage resist, it makes Madeline cookie a team destroyer, along with the support of Lilac, Minchoko, and the enchanted robe. Man, Madeline is just very strong. All right. Next cookie is going to be Mango. I'm going to be putting Mango at A tier, and the reason why I'm putting Mango at A tier is because Mango can only be really used in certain comps in the upper ranks, as well as just kind of doesn't really work too well with many of the cookies. And what I'm saying is because of the knockbacks, if you do not set the cookie skill cooldown properly, then it does have a chance to interrupt with other skills like Black Raisins. We do have chance to kind of miss it with other skills like Squid Ink, Sorbet, and things like that. So I would say Mango is super strong. The attack boost being a mage on top of the damage is awesome, but Mango is sadly only being used in the Sea Fairy, Mango, Ginger Braid, Tiger Lily, and Almond comp, or this Red Velvet Mango comp. So I would say that's like the niche of the Mango cookie team. and I'll just have to kind of put Mango Cookie at A tier. Next one is going to be Milk. Milk is actually going to be at A tier. Yes, Milk Cookie was actually at like an S or SS tier when the sorbet bug was still active in the game. However, after the patch, Milk Cookie is not that great anymore. Yes, it will still make you climb in the arena, but after a certain point, Milk Cookie is going to actually get melted by sorbet, and that's why I'm saying Milk Cookie. Yes, you can use Milk Cookie as your frontliner along with sorbet and sea fairy. However, it is not as strong as it used to be, and I'll have to put Milk Cookie at A tier. And especially when it comes to dealing with something like a Tiger Lily Ginger Brave comp, Milk Cookie can't even use that taunt in time, so I would say Milk Cookie is going to stay at that A tier now. Next one is going to be Minchoko. I'm actually putting Minchoko at S tier for being a great support. Not only is he used in speed comps and a viable member of the speed comp, you can actually use Minchoko as a support for any other team comps as well, and allow him to do a ton of healing as well as give that extra attack speed, allowing Pure Vanilla to maybe heal a lot more, or some of your DPSs to deal more damage as well. So I'm gonna have to put Minchoko as S tier, and just have to say he's a great support. If you do have him and want to have an extra support healer, then go for Minchoko. Next one is actually going to be Parfait. I'm gonna put Parfait at actually an SS tier, and the reason why is because in the arena, Parfait is killing it as a support and sub healer slash buffer. And you gotta realize Parfait has so much built into her skill. Not only does she heal over a period of 7 seconds, she also gives you a 10% defense buff as well as a 40% debuff resist for your team. And that means that the stuns, the poisons, the debuffs that should happen to your team is cut almost by half, guys. 40% is a huge number, and I just have to say Parfait is like killing it in the arena. Yes, it is a constant heal, so it won't be a very satisfying heal compared to Minchoko and Pure Vanilla. However, with Parfait being combined with Pure Vanilla, I'm just gonna have to say Parfait is a great support slash healer slash buffer in the arena right now. Next one is going to be Pastry. Pastry is actually going to be at an S tier too, guys. Pastry is killing it too, with the speed comp kind of coming back, and not really, actually I gotta say speed comp never died, right? But it has fallen off a little bit. But with the addition of sparkling, and I will explain it later, Pastry actually comes back and deals a ton of damage to the enemy teams and actually destroys them. Like once it passes that 1 minute mark and have that double damage, Pastry, Madeline, Lilac just destroys the entire team. So I just gotta say Pastry built properly is super scary and a super strong cookie for that speed comp. So I'm gonna have to say Pastry is going to be at a S tier. Poison Mushroom is actually going to be at a C tier. Poison Mushroom is not very good in the arena. Sadly, I know a lot of people do like Poison Mushroom and is greatly used in the guild boss battle, but for arena, just that having that constant damage of poison is just not that great. It does get out healed by Pure Vanilla, Herb, as well as Herb having that Purify, Parfait having that debuff resist, just prevents Poison Mushroom from doing much in the arena. Next one is going to be Pomegranate. Pomegranate is actually going to be at A tier. Not many people are using Pomegranate nowadays in the arena, except for a specific team comp. I have actually seen Pomegranate used in a lot of teams regarding where they want to buff the cookies in order to try to snipe the tank or snipe the damage dealers like Seafair or Sorbet before they are able to use their skill. And yes, it is a great team, however it does require a specific team comp once again, and Pomegranate does not heal as much as Minchoko or Parfait in my opinion. And I'll say if you want to stick with a very stable team comp and a very generic team comp, then I'll say Parfait and Minchoko are still going to do better than Pomegranate. And next is going to be our Pure Vanilla Cookie, our best healer in the game. No doubt is going to have to stay at SS tier until there is another healer cookie that just kind of does something better than Pure Vanilla. That shield being there and the heal being an enormous amount, Pure Vanilla cannot be beaten by anybody else in this game when it comes to the healer class. And in the arena, definitely it makes a difference when you have a Pure Vanilla in a team compared to having a Herb cookie in the team. So I would have to say pure vanilla, no doubt about it, going to stay at that SS tier. Next one is actually going to be raspberry, and I'm going to actually put raspberry in S tier. Yes, the bug has not been fixed yet regarding the target of raspberry cookie's skill. However, when you do build raspberry cookie properly inside of a good team, raspberry cookie actually is going to be a very useful cookie, allowing you to not only take less damage from someone like Sea Fairy or Black Raisin, you're actually going to be able to snipe them out of the team as well because of her enormous damage as well as that 40% attack debuff. Raspberry cookie is doing a ton for your team, and being the tank, she's pretty tanky. You know, she's pretty beefy. So I'm gonna have to say raspberry, once that bug is fixed, is going to appear in the arena a lot more than she is right now, and I'm just gonna have to say she is going to be at that S tier for the arena. Next cookie is going to be Rye Cookie, and Rye Cookie is actually going to be at an S tier too. Rye Cookie is scary, guys. Being able to attack and snipe away the lowest HP cookie majority of the time is going to be that Sea Fairy in the opposite team, and combined with Almond Cookie, Rye and Raymond, right, we call it Raymond comp, is crazy. It's so strong, and I'll have to say Rye Cookie is definitely worth investing in, and it will help you not only in the arena as well as in the PvE section of the game, and maybe later on when the raid comes back, then I'll have to say Rye is probably going to be very useful in that mode as well. But strictly speaking about arena, Rye Cookie is going to be awesome, guys. Next one is going to be our Sea Fairy. Sea Fairy Cookie is going to be our SS tier legendary bomber cookie. She does enormous amount of damage. Not only that, she does do that 3-second stun for the entire enemy team, and combined with so many of the different team comps, having the Sea Fairy Cookie in your team just makes a huge difference, guys. And I have to say Sea Fairy Cookie is never going to leave the meta and never going to leave arena unless she gets a huge nerf or something better comes out, just like how I said for pure vanilla, which is highly unlikely. So I'm gonna have to say Sea Fairy Cookie. If you do have her and if you were able to pull her from the gacha, definitely go for her. If you were not lucky enough, then definitely slowly grind to farm for the soul stones from this rainbow shell gallery after Cookie Castle level 8, and then get your Sea Fairy and build her as soon as possible because she is a monster in the arena. Next one is going to be Snow Sugar Cookie. Snow Sugar Cookie is actually going to be at D tier for me. Definitely not a cookie you want to use because the Snow King is something from the back, guys. That means that Snow King is not doing any tanking for you. On top of that, the damage is not that great. It takes a very long time for the skill to actually come down out of the cooldown. So I would just have to say Snow Sugar Cookie, yes, it may be cool, however not very viable for PvP. Sparkling Cookie is actually going to be at an A tier. I think I did put Sparkling maybe at a B tier, and the reason why Sparkling is coming up in the arena tier list is because of his buff of 15% crit chance to a 25% crit chance, and on top of that, built with the maxed out scythe and some extra crit percentage, you're gonna have more than 50% crit, allowing your cookies to deal an enormous amount of damage. And like I said, we are finding that a lot of people are finding some crazy crit comps in order to end the battle very quickly before they're able to go to that 1 minute mark and pop your team, and you're trying to plan out to pop the DPS of their team and pop the feather, because feather is kind of a meta right now in the arena, and then after that 1 minute mark have your skills ready and just blow the entire team away. Without that feather and having that early feather pop is amazing, and with Sparkling also being a healer, you know, it just kind of works out really well for a lot of the crit comps that are out there. So I'll have to say Sparkling Cookie is coming up to the A tier. Not going to be necessarily at S tier because there are still better cookies out there, but I'll have to say there are certain comps that Sparkling Cookie does shine. Next one is going to be our lovely Sorbet Shark Cookie, and I'll have to say Sorbet Shark Cookie is breaking the arena, guys. After the addition of that true damage, tanks cannot survive. After that 1 minute mark, Sorbet Shark Cookie basically destroys the entire tank, and if your enemy Sorbet Shark is alive after that point, just say goodbye to your tanks. I mean, there's just nothing about it. It's just like the true damage ignores all damage resist and defense buffs, and it just does a ton of damage to their to the enemy because it is based off their maximum HP. And Sorbet Shark Cookie is just can be built in so many different ways and with so many different toppings that I would have to just say Sorbet Shark is just a great ambush cookie to be used in arena, and not only in the arena, but I would say guild boss battle and PvE as well. So Sorbet Shark going to be at that SS tier. Alright, next cookie is going to be our Squid Cookie. I'm gonna have to sadly put Squid Cookie at A tier. Yes, Squid Cookie does do a ton of damage, AoE damage on top of that. However, it's just that, right? We are not getting anything out of it except for just a huge amount of damage Squid Ink is able to do. And I'll have to say, there are comps that Squid Ink will actually destroy your team. And on top of that, because Squid Ink is aiming and dealing damage to all of the enemy cookies, yes, it is very strong. However, like I said, it's only that. So I'll have to say, if you do plan on using Squid Ink Cookie, then yes, go for something like a crit comp or a very strong almond comp or something like that. However, I wouldn't say Squid Ink is going to be used necessarily in the arena for majority of the teams, especially in the top ranking players team. So I'll have to say Squid Ink is going to stay at that A tier. Next one is going to be Strawberry Crepe. Strawberry Crepe is still going to be staying at that SS tier in my opinion. Yes, Strawberry Crepe did fall off a little bit with the new addition of Hollyberry Cookie, but still for a lot of free-to-play players as well as the players who do not spend much money in this game, Strawberry Crepe still is probably going to be the #1 tank in the game when it comes to the arena, because Strawberry Crepe has a push. Strawberry Crepe also has a huge damage output. On top of that, he is able to give 50% damage resist buff to your 2 of the lowest HP cookies in the team. And I'll have to say Strawberry Crepe is just great at doing a lot of these things, and because of that, Strawberry Crepe is going to stay at that SS tier for me. At very close though, coming down to the S tier, but kind of holding on to it tightly right there. So I'm gonna have to put Strawberry Crepe at the SS tier. And the next one is going to be Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily, because of, like I said, the Ginger Brave, Almond, Tiger Lily comp, Tiger Lily is going to stay at the S tier. Not only that, a lot of people have actually been using Tiger Lily by herself because of the stun and the knockbacks that she is able to do with her skill. And I'll have to say, it gets pretty annoying. And having the Tiger Lily and without having any cookies to deal with her like Latte or Licorice, Tiger Lily does do a ton of damage. On top of that, because of the stun and the knockback, groups up the cookies together to allow other cookies to do a ton of damage. So I have to say Tiger Lily is a very strong cookie in the arena, and highly recommended if you are able to build her along with maybe the Ginger Brave and Almond comp for the attacking side of arena. Alright guys, next one is going to be Red Velvet. I'm gonna put Red Velvet in A tier, but my heart is aiming towards B tier, but I'm still going to be putting Red Velvet at A tier because Red Velvet does have a use in the arena because of the 5-second stun, and also being able to drag the furthest or the rearmost enemy to the front. Yes, Red Velvet Cookie is still able to do a lot along with maybe like Sorbet or Black Raisin, and just kind of has that utility that people are still using out there. So I'm gonna put Red Velvet in A tier, but I'll highly recommend do not use Red Velvet by himself. He is not a solo tanker and will have to be combined or paired with another tank in order for him to be super viable in the arena. Alright guys, so Vampire, I'm gonna have to say it's in between that S tier and A tier, okay? And I'm gonna put it at S tier for now. However, you gotta listen to me on this. Vampire Cookie is a very strong cookie, and when it comes to a lower rank in the arena, Vampire will still shred a lot and most and majority of the back lane. However, when it comes to maybe even Diamond to upper Masters now, because of the amount of damage resist the back lane has, or the rearmost enemies like, you know, Parfait, Minchoko, Pure Vanilla, because of them, Vampire Cookie is just not great anymore. He's not able to one-shot the back lane, he's not able to even do half of the damage to them, and he still cannot kill the enemy once he reaches that 1 minute mark and has a double damage. It just doesn't do the damage that he's supposed to do, or at least you're looking for him to do. So that's why I'm saying yes, Vampire Cookie is a very strong cookie, and yes, like the middle area of the arena where crystals and diamonds and so on. However, when it comes to upper diamonds and masters, I'm gonna have to say Vampire Cookie, it just doesn't do that much damage, guys, because of the amount of damage resist these healers and supports are having in their toppings. And last one is going to be our Werewolf. Werewolf D tier, because he's just not that good. He sucks. He doesn't do that much damage. His skill just is not very good. All he does is AoE damage once he transforms, and then he gets a little bit of HP. Like, if that's the case, then I'll take Kumio, who has a charm, or I'll take Purple Yam, who's able to at least push and knock away the enemies and group them together. If that's the case, then I'll use those two, and that's the only time I'll use Purple Yam if I have to use Werewolf. So I'm just gonna have to say Werewolf is gonna be at the D tier. Just don't really want to invest in him. He's not that great. Anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I tried to speak as fast as possible. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you guys, and you guys kind of get the idea of where the meta is currently in the arena and how you should be investing when it comes to investing your star jellies as well as your skill powders, because they are important, guys. They are rare and they are hard to get. So I hope that the newer players are able to get some value out of this, especially because of the new cookies coming out. Yes, they may be good or they may not be so good, but being a new player, you still need something to guide you guys in order to have success when it comes to PvE and PvP. So even though you guys cannot climb the arena as much as we are doing, the older players, it still is going to help, and I hope that is going to help you guys. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it. I hope you guys found this video helpful once again, and if you guys did, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any future Cookie Run Kingdom videos that I upload on YouTube. And I promise you guys I will be doing a PvE tier list as well for the mid-September 2021. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time.